bare hjelpe å få kabelen litt mer. Ja. Og så blir det du går ut, og så går vi på mål, så går jeg inn, og så du bare hjelper å få kabelen over gjerdet. Det blir kjempebra. Da har vi. Så da kan du det. Så den starter her? Ja. Det er 6 stykker som starter sammen. Ja, så skal jeg... Ja.
No, that's fine. Thank you.
Jeg var jo med alle de her hitene i går og alle.
Ja.
Ja. Veldig sterk sol. Ja, veldig sterk sol. Ja. I går skulle det være 9 varmegrader. Ja. Markus, er togbekken din på? Ja. Markus til Markus, hører du meg? Markus til Markus, hører du meg? Test, noen som hører meg? Markus til Markus, noen som hører meg? Jeg tester bare kommunikasjon, hører du meg? Så bra. Kabelhjelperen er med meg også. Test. det være meg, Markus? Ja, det lyste. Markus. Pinsene på fokuskabelen var jo bøyd, så det kan hende at det har blitt bøyd på hovedkabelen.
Well, a very good morning. Welcome back to the Junior World Championships here in Norway. Lillehammer hosting this round. It was due to be Trondheim, but due to financial issues, it has been transferred to Lillehammer. The venue, of course, for the 1994 Winter Olympic Games. Norway, the top nation on that occasion, but the Italians pushing Norway very, very close in so many of the races. Well, we've had the qualifying already for the under-23s, and that's the top list of 30 athletes who've qualified for the knockout phases in this sprint event. Day two, the junior sprint yesterday, some impressive performances, one or two big tumbles from favourites which shook it up a bit. Eddie Pedersen winning the men's, and a really impressive performance from Heidi Bucher of Austria to win the women's sprint event ahead of Iselin Drivenes, who was the out-and-out favourite, having slaughtered everyone in the qualifying rounds. But Drivenes not too happy with her silver medal. Bucher, on the other hand, delighted, as were the rest of the Austrian camp. So good news for them. So Sweden and Austria are the two gold medalists so far. Hopefully we'll get three. If we get a different nation on top of the podium today, that will beat the tally for the Olympic Games, where Norway and Sweden took all 12 gold medals between them. Norway, of course, getting 7. The Swedes, largely thanks to Andersen and Carlsen, picking up 5 in the women's events. I guess the one big surprise from the Olympic Games was the Norwegians winning the women's relay, largely thanks to a couple of falls from Eva Andersen. A little bit unfortunate, difficult conditions. So here's the lineup for the first heat. Now, if you've not seen this before, heats of 6, 5 heats of 6 to make up the 30 qualifiers. They call them quarterfinals. And the top 2 from each heat will automatically go through to the next round. And then, of course, we get 2 lucky losers to make up the 12 for the semi-finals. So if you go all the way, you do your qualifying run of just under 1,400 metres, your first round, your semi-final and your final. So four intervals effectively. Yeah, definitely 1 or 2 getting overexcited yesterday, failing to pace things. And just looking at the field, I think there are 1 or 2 who've pushed maybe a bit too hard in the qualifying rounds, but we will see. It's a good turnout. USA, Norway, Sweden with 4 athletes in the top 30. Italy have 3, as do France, and then Czechia with 2. Poland in there as well, and a steady start from the women's first heat. Naisland of Sweden doing the hard work at the moment. Ava Thurston of USA just trying to pick out the American suit, back in around 4th or 5th with a little bit of space. So Thurston doing, I think, a sensible start to this race. Norway's Inger Britsen wearing 11 at the back of the pack at the moment, and Beatrice Laurent of Italy, who's got bib number 30. She was in 2nd place, I think, just being deposed at the moment by the American Thurston, who's eager to get onto the heels of Naisland, who was the quickest of the qualifiers. Comes from Falun, actually, where the World Cup was last weekend. Dare say she was watching that event carefully. Actually, she was there. What am I saying? She did run in the qualifying, didn't make it through, finished 38th, having finished 34th back in 2023 when they had a freestyle sprint. But she's dictating the pace here. We'll try and take a split. There's, if you were with us yesterday, you remember once they've gone past these trees, there's a very sharp left-hand turn that leads into the hardest part of the course. And we're looking at a time of around 1:45. There they go, around the bend. 1:42 for heat number 1. And we'll try and pick up a split at the top of the hill. Now this is where the hard work starts, and Naisland, if she's got her wits about her, will just suss that she's broken away from the majority of the field, and this is an opportunity just to ease things up a little bit. This is the steepest climb. We saw quite a few changes here in the juniors, and pushing hard from behind. We've got Poland's Koledziej. That was Thurston of USA, comes from Dartmouth, USA that is, and finished third in the national championships behind Samantha Smith and Sonnerson, two athletes that we've both seen on the World Cup. So over the little rise in about 2:37, and they've now got 100 metres or so into the finish, but the leading two, long way clear. It's going to be a very, very straightforward qualification for Sweden's Ellen Naisland and Eva Thurston of USA, who I think probably played the wiser of the two games. Let someone else do the work. They're a long, long way clear. 2:59 the target time. That's actually not bad at all. Qualifying time of 2:56 from Naisland, so she was skiing within herself, but she could have just eased off a little, saved something for the semi-final. No surprises in heat number one, no fallers, no collisions. I think it will liven up as we get towards the more critical stage. So this will take just about 25 minutes to get through the 5 quarterfinals, as they call them. And then the women get a little bit of rest, or those who've qualified for the semis, the top 12, get a little bit of rest. They'll get half an hour's rest while the men's first round is taking place, and then it's on to the semis. So there you get confirmation. 4 of them given the green light, because at the moment Milurska and Eva Ingebrigtsen are in the pool as the lucky losers at the moment. Whether that will be quick enough, I suspect not. Nice to see the Poles have got some support. Koledziej racing in that, just checking down the list. I don't think they've got another racer in the women's event, no. So that was their only chance. So there's the lineup for heat number 2. Mina Moland, 22-year-old, comes from Stokke in Norway, 28th in the rankings over the summer in the roller ski sprint. Yeah, not a bad way to train. The roller ski is very, very similar to skiing nowadays, and you can certainly develop those fast twitch fibers that you need. We did see Moland in Planica in the Junior World Championships 2 years ago, 2024, and she finished 9th. There's Katja Veit of Germany, comes from Oberstdorf. We saw her in the World Cup in Oberhof. Mina Moland, I think probably the favourite, second or so fast than anyone else in this heat in the qualifying, but it's a long course, so things can change. Virginia Cena of Italy, then we've got Hayley Brewster, who's just seen her teammate go through to the semi-finals, and if Brewster can finish in the top 2 here, which judging by the qualifying time, she's certainly got a good chance, she will join Eva Thurston in semi-final number 1. That would be good news for the Americans. Certainly the Americans, one of the teams that have managed to bridge the gap between the Scandinavians and the also-rans, and largely led by Jessie Diggins on the women's front. Of course, kicking it off back in 2018 when the USA won the women's team sprint in the Olympic Games in Korea. Jessie Diggins teamed up with Keegan Randall on that occasion. First gold medal for the Americans. So steady start, and this is a stiff little climb, but then they get reprieve fairly quickly. And will try and pick up a time as they go up over the top of the next little incline. Moland leading the way at the moment. 17 is Katja Veit of Germany, well positioned on the outside. Over they go in just under the minute. Well, it's a steady pace, not what I would call electric at the moment. And Mina Moland, I think, being a little bit more sensible than Ellen Naesland. Well, this is very, very tight indeed, but I suspect once they break left and approach the base of the big climb, we'll see the favourites start to make a move. Haley Brewster of USA has got to move up a couple of places. There's the first faller, and it's Veit of Germany, I think, who's gone down. We'll just wait to get confirmation of that. Brewster is okay. Moland, the race leader, is fine. And we've got Alder and Charrier of Switzerland. It's one of the Swiss athletes that's come clear on the right of your screen at the moment. And Moland of Norway just upping the pace a little, I think, realising that that's a really good opportunity to secure. It's actually, was it Virginia Chainer in there? Just looking for that bib number. Pretty difficult to read at the moment. Moland in second. And then that looks like Haley Brewster in 3 at the moment, and she's got some work to do if she wants to go through as an automatic qualifier. Well, that was desperately unlucky for Veit. That really put her out of contention in this race. The last 150 meters now, 2:59, the Lackaluza spots. I think they could well be inside that. They've certainly pushed the pace on the second half of the course. And so across the line for Alder of Switzerland, Moland in 2, and Haley Brewster has to wait and see whether 2:59.3. Oh, it's very, very tight. The 2 previous lucky losers on 2:59.37 and 2:59.34. So we need to see the official timings. Charrier not making it through, and Veit and Chainer of Germany and Italy also going out. But Alder, wow, she was on fire, and that was a little bit of a surprise. 24th in qualifying, and the Swiss athlete doing really, really well. No Swiss in the top 10 yesterday. Their best was Katieni, who was just outside the top 10. Alder, Moland guaranteed. Brewster gets the benefit of the doubt. It's rounded down to 2:59.28. So she qualifies by the skin of her teeth. At the moment, the next heat might be even quicker. We will see. And we've got another 3 heats to go, so she certainly won't be counting her chickens at this stage, but possibly 2 Americans through. We've got another American in this 3rd heat, and in the 4th, Sam Smith is there. I think probably their #1 sprinter at this level at the moment, and she goes in heat number 4. This is the lineup for heat 3. Helen Haugen of Norway, 5th fastest in qualifying, skis for the Holmenkollen Club. And Evelina Krussel was just behind her in qualifying, 21-year-old, and has been racing the Scandi Cup recently, the Scandinavian Cup events. Good over 10k. Wait to see how good she is in this. So Siri Viga of Switzerland has just seen Fabienne Alder spring a surprise. Maybe we've got something else coming from her. Evelina Krussel of Sweden, 6th fastest in qualifying. It does seem we can't read too much into the qualifying times now. Lisa Eriksson of Sweden. On her left, we've got Helena Haugen, who was 4th in Orson recently behind quite a strong field. So I think she's certainly got some potential. And then Schamberger for USA, and 25 is Liv Cooper of France from Le Bessa. Just won a 20-kilometer freestyle race in Novo Mesto, actually, in Czechia. That was a good effort from her. So keep an eye out for the French athlete. Away we go, heat number 3. Well, certainly Siri Viga's gone out hard on the far side. Tall figure of Haugen controlling the pace at the moment. It's very, very tightly bunched, and I think that pace looks just a fraction quicker than we saw earlier on. So we got Haugen in the Norwegian suit with the sort of white calves. Number 25 is Coupart of France, down in 3rd at the moment, and Krussel in 2nd. So the 2 fastest qualifiers, 1 and 2 at the moment, but they certainly haven't shaken off the rest. Now the last group went over the top of this hill at 1 minute, and this group a couple of seconds inside, which bodes well in terms of getting a lucky loser. But heat number 2 certainly picked up the pace once we had that fall from the German athlete, Katja Veit. Yeah, I think when you're as tall as Helen Haugen, not a bad idea to be out front. Less chance of having your skis interfered with. Now the first group rounded this next corner in 1:42, 10 seconds to go. I think again they look as though they're up on the time required. Still a way to go from here. Time's just under that 3-minute mark, so they've got 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. So they are pretty much on schedule to get at least one athlete through as a lucky loser, but a lot will depend on the pace up this next climb. Haugen leading from start to finish so far, but 5 hungry athletes behind her. And unless she gets 10 meters or so clear, she's going to drag them all down into the finishing straight. Sweden getting excited. Krussel and Eriksson both in contention at the moment. And I think that's Schamberger on the far side. The French with Liv Coupart in there as well. But Haugen's still leading. And if she takes a tight line into the finish, I think she should be able to hold on to this. 2:59.28. Again, they look as though they're comfortably inside that marker. Evelina Krussel of Sweden just stepping up the pace. So it's going to be Haugen and Krussel who come across as the automatic qualifiers. And Coupart of France in 3, Viga of Switzerland 4, couldn't match what her teammate Alder did in the previous heat. And then Eriksson and Schamberger out of the qualifying positions. So Alder and Moland will be in semi-final number 1. Naslund and Thurston of Sweden and USA are there, and Haugen, by winning that heat, has gone into the first of the semi-finals. She must be about 6'3", 6'4". She's very, very long levers indeed. She used them to good effect there. 2:55.37. So 2 lucky losers coming out of that group. Coupart and Viga live to fight another day, provided the next heat does not match that time. We've got Sam Smith, who was the 2nd fastest qualifier, going in the next heat. She's certainly capable of doing that. Lillehammer, the Birkebeiner Stadium, as it's called, where the Birkebeiner race either starts or finishes. And we're sort of halfway, not quite halfway, just up the hill from the city of Lillehammer, a little bit short, maybe 20 minutes from Nordseter and Sjusjön. I'm sure many of you have been there. Beautiful skiing at the moment. It is absolutely stunning up there. It's been a good winter in terms of snowfall. A little bit warm, I suppose, at this point. What were we, 3 degrees at the start of the race? It's only going to get warmer as the sun gets higher. But further up the hill, the temperatures will be hovering around 0, and the track's in perfect condition, as they so often are in this part of the world. So heat number 4, Sam Smith for USA, comes from Boise in Idaho. Her sister Logan, pretty handy skier as well. She also played soccer at quite a high level. Number 22 there, Nora Kitaya. 9 is Ellen Henriksson, and as you heard, getting the bronze medal in the under-23 last year in Chilpario. Nora Falstad from Norway again, and the fastest qualifier, Sam Smith. Does that make her favourite? Well, it does in a way. Got the silver medal in the Junior World Championships in the sprint event in Planica in 2024. Senior World Championships in Planica in 2023. Trondheim, of course, hosting last year's Senior Worlds. So we're underway, and just 2 more heats to be completed. Keep an eye out for Sam Smith on the right-hand side of your screen. She's wearing bib number 2. This is quite a stiff pace they're setting coming out of the blocks. Sweden, I think, will be pretty happy. Ellen Henriksson will be looking for more medals, having medalled last time, the bronze medal, sitting proudly on her mantelpiece. Oh, wow. Now, who is that has gone down? It looks like Falstad of Norway. Kaelin and Falstad, Switzerland and Norway, with very similar suits. That's Kaelin going through. Marina Kaelin, Nadia Kaelin, of course, we saw her in Falun last week, and of course Nadia, of course, getting that medal in the 50k at the Olympic Games. That was an outstanding performance. What a race that was, won by Ebba Andersson, and Ebba Andersson will be looking forward, I think, to seeing Ellen Henriksson in the national team. She's going well. Fabulous tradition that the Swedish women have in sprinting at the moment. So Sam Smith in 2, and Falstad of Norway, who took that fall at the back of the pack at the moment. So again, we're looking for a time sub 140 round this turn, and they are not far off the pace. 136, 137, fastest heat so far by about a second up on the last heat. So Kupar and Viga, who qualified or are sitting in the lucky loser seats at the moment with 256.34 and 257.90, are under a little bit of threat here. Henriksson leading the way as they come to the big climb. Tirloy of France going well, wearing 19. And Sam Smith of USA on your right-hand side of your screen, trying to get back in the fight. And does she get up past the French athlete? No, she doesn't. So she's still sitting in 3rd and in a spot of bother at the moment, the fastest of the qualifiers. Now, I've seen Sam Smith qualify very, very well before, and pay a price for it when it comes to the knockout phases. This is a sort of Ben Ogden symptom, but maybe she'll still be able to do something magic. She's got good ski speed coming down into the final straight. 100 meters to go. Sam Smith goes wide. I don't think there's any doubt that Ellen Henriksson of Sweden is going to come through here. It's between Tirloy of France and Sam Smith, and on the near side, finishing well, is Kataya of Finland, who just misses out. Well, there's a photo finish for 2nd, and Tirloy, I think, a little bit unlucky there, but 2:53 dead, and that is quick enough. That's going to be a lucky loser slot. 2:56 was the required time. That was quick. That was really quick, and they have got some recovering to do, because many of them, in fact all of them, unless a lucky loser finds themselves going into semi-final 1, they'll be going into semi 2. That was an all-out effort. Henriksson and Smith are safely through, Kataja of Finland, Tilloy of France, with 252s, they are into the new lucky loser slots. But it's changing heat by heat. What a quality competition. Marina Kalin missing out. Nora Falster of Norway fell in the first half of the race. So difficult to get back into it. You basically have to put in an extra burst, which means you do not have a lot left to give later on. So many sprint events requiring 3 actual all-out efforts. 1 out of the start to get the position you want, 1 mid-course to set yourself up for the last part of the course, and then, of course, the finish generally is 100% minimum. And this course, I think, is more of a 2-sprint sprint, if you get what I mean. You have to fight hard to get a decent position out of the start, but then because there's only that 1 big climb, I guess you're putting in a lot of effort there. But if the leader decides to take that section easy, you can save all your fast twitch fibers for the last 150 meters. So the 6 athletes just about in place, 1 to go, and it's going to be Silva Kempi, I think, who's last to take her slot on the start sheet. Yaklova of Czechia. Now let's go through the athletes. 18 is Selene Rossi of Finland, 2 Finns in this heat. Nadine Laurent, who we've seen on the World Cup racing for Italy. Cassanet Saint-Jean in the Aosta Valley, not far from the Mont Blanc tunnel. Gina Del Rio, now this could be exciting for her. Silver medal in the under-21 sprint event in Chapario last year, and took gold in the Junior World Championships in Planica. Number 28, that is Silva Kempi on the near side. Not the best of draws, so maybe just contain herself as we start. So Perry of France, Del Rio of Andorra wearing bib number 8, keep an eye on her. Laurent of Italy, Rossi and Kempi of Finland, 18 and 28 respectively. And then Anna-Marie Yaklova of Czechia wearing bib number 23, and it's the Italian suit, Nadine Laurent, that goes straight to the front. Very experienced. 6th in the under-23 junior championships last year. So this is quite a high quality heat. Didn't get a place in the Olympic team. That would be really disappointing for her. Didn't finish the race in Goms, one of the World Cups just before the Olympics, and then got disqualified in Oberhof, which was the last round of the Olympic Games, of the World Cup prior to the Olympics, and not getting her qualifying slot. Lenny Perry just upping the pace. Now this looks steady compared to the last heat, who went over the top of this hill in 54.5, and this is I'm going to give that 59.5, which is the same pace as heat number 1, and as we know, that 4th heat was very, very quick. So I don't think I'm being presumptuous in saying we're only going to have 2 qualifiers from this heat. And Leonie Perry, absolutely not bothered if it's slow, provided she's out front and can control the race from there. Comes from La Bresse, which is just to the southwest of Strasbourg. Good freestyle skier, Perry. 4th in the 5K in Toblach, in the Tour de Ski behind Diggins and Riebaum and Elar. So that undoubtedly best race of her career. The 2 Finns at the back at the moment, and a change in the front. Leonie Perry still looking good, tightening up a little bit with the shoulders. Nice switch into the dynamic dancing skate as she comes up the climb. Andorra hoping that Gina Del Rio can do something, and it's Del Rio who takes her place at the front. Perry's still there in second, so she's in a qualifying spot. That's Gina Del Rio sitting in first place at the moment, and a well-timed burst from her. Perry in two, the Italian, Nadine Laurent in third at the moment, and just some 150 meters to go, all to fight for here. The lucky loser slots have gone. They will not match the 252 that we saw earlier on, and so all important to finish in the top two. Del Rio is still there. Laurent of Italy coming strong. It's all to do with Perry if she can hang on in second place. Yes, she can. So Del Rio gave it all. Perry in second. Yakula and Laurent are going to go out, although it's a four-way photo finish. Is that necessary? I think it's a photo for 1 and 2, but I've given it to Del Rio, and a photo for 3 and 4. Finland not getting a look in on that occasion. Rossi and Kempi both over that 3-minute mark. So some 6 seconds off the qualifying time required, but good experience for them, and I dare say they'll be back throughout the week. Incidentally, 20k mass start for the juniors tomorrow, 20k mass start for the under-23s on Thursday, and then Friday a 10-kilometre time trial, Saturday 10-kilometre time trials, and then the relays on the Sunday. So Del Rio and Perry confirmed as the 2 qualifiers. Laurent just missing out. That was unlucky. She put in a good effort, and yeah, I don't think she did anything wrong. I think just beaten by 2 slightly stronger skiers, but it's very, very marginal. So we've got the lineup for the women's semi-finals. Naisland, Haugen, Older from Sweden, Norway, Switzerland. Mollen, Thurston and Tilloy go in semi-1. Del Rio, Henriksen, Smith, Perry, Krussel and Kataja of Finland go in semi-2. No rest though. We're straight on to the men's qualifying. I must say, the men's race, there are plenty of women who we've seen on the World Cup, but the men is absolutely stacked with World Cup skiers and some pretty handy ones as well. Oscar Opstad Vika. It's not often you get an Olympic medalist in the under-23 World Championships, but we do today, and he goes in heat number 1. We'll see him in a minute. This is Christian Steiner of Austria, qualified in 30. He's going to have to up the pace if he wants to go through to the semi-finals. Just 12, remember, going through to the semis. Helmich is there for Czechia. Number 10, that is Elias Keck of Germany. He's very, very sharp. I think if he can just contain himself getting through to the finals, then he could put up a good fight. But here's the man, the bronze medal at the Olympic Games, and Oscar Opstad Vika alongside Isa Naif of Switzerland. The 2 Naif brothers are here, and then we've got Finnegan Bailey of USA, qualified in 21st position. But Vika was the quickest of the qualifiers, hence he wears number 1. He's got a good draw in the middle of the field. He's sitting 3rd along from the camera, tallest with the white hat. He's the man we need to keep an eye on in this event. I think he'll just try and conserve energy. Or will he? Or will he? He's gone out pretty hard. Elias Keck of Germany was in 2nd, now in 3rd. The American Bailey just sitting in 2nd place at the moment. So it's an interesting course. this little climb that sort of takes the sting out of them a bit. And then 10-15 meters of easy downhill, which gives them a bit of momentum for the second climb, which is pretty much insignificant. Change in tempo from Vika. Now he slows it down, going over the top at 51 seconds. Remember that when it comes to the heats to follow. Now Vika's just got to stay out of trouble, you would have thought. 4 World Cup podiums in his career. He hasn't had a win, but then again, not many people have had a win, other than Klæbo, who's been totally dominant this year and getting another victory in Falun this weekend. Vika's tally, 1 second place, 3 times he's finished in 3rd place. And yeah, he's not doing too badly. He's second in the Sprint World Cup standings. Let's check the time round this corner, 1:33. Yeah, Vika second in the world sprint standings this year, and I dare say, once he's done this sprint event, he will pack his bags and head to Finland for the next round of the World Cup in Lahti. Well, he's just doing enough, just wants to stay in front. I think he's confident that he can out-sprint everyone else in the closing stages. And just over 2 minutes on the clock at the moment. The qualifying time, 2:31.28. So expect this to be around the 2:33, 2:34 mark. It's not often they better the qualifying time in the first round. Certainly don't want to. 2:18 over that little lump. And into the home straight now, and Vika's burst of speed has done some good damage. Is that Elias Keck? I think it might be, for Germany, contending 2nd place. Finnegan Bailey of USA not able to stay with the pace, and Keck getting 2nd to 35.8. Helmick and Steiner have to wait and see. I suspect it might be bad news. Neff and Bailey, I don't know what happened to Bailey. I was expecting a bit more from him. Might have got tied up when the pace picked up on that big climb. But no doubt, Oscar Obstad, Vika racing on home snow, enjoying that. Now he comes from Runar, which I think, unless there's more than one Runar, which could well be in Norway, near Sandefjord. Any of you who've flown into Torp Airport will know exactly where that is. So no surprises to see Vika taking that, gracing these championships with his presence. Good to see. 4th in the national championships last year for Vika, so he is a class act. 4th in the Norwegian nationals is generally regarded to be a top 5 in the world, and very, very few people split the Norwegians when it comes to a sprint podium. Perhaps Pellegrino in his prime, but he's struggling to stay with the Klæbos nowadays. Brilliant sprinting, incidentally, in Falun last weekend. If you get an opportunity to see if you can pick up the footage from there. A sprint and a skiathlon. 4 races and 4 very tight finishes. So Philip Skari is the favourite for this heat. Their bib number, as I'm sure you know, indicating the position they finished in the qualifying run. So we got Philip Skari in this one. There he is, number 4, from Nittedal, just north of Oslo, and the junior world champion last year. Pryor of Canada, Marie Pryor, wearing 24. Number 7 is Matti Holmberg. So the 2 Norwegians, the 2 fastest qualifiers, and another chance for Italy, Teo Galli, and yeah, he's got a chance. The David Pilcher, Poland. The Italians generally better at the freestyle sprinting than they are at the classic. And then on the outside, Luke Allen. So 2 Canadians, 2 Norwegians, Italy represented by Galli, and David Pilch of Poland in bib number 17. Away we go. Luke Allen on the near side, who's going to fight for the lead here. Philip Skari over on the far side. Holbach wearing 7, Skari wearing 4, and Holbach, well, he's got a broken pole already. That was very, very quick drills. Now, once he's over the top of this climb, keep an eye on Holbach over the top of this hill. Then he's going to have to get his hand into the strap on the skis at the back of the pack at the moment. There you go, just a little bit of time. That took, what, fractions of a second, and now he can fight for a decent position, but he's at the back of the pile at the moment, so everyone's sandwiched in between the two Norwegians. And number 27 up over the rise, Luke Allen, I think sensing that it's an opportunity to push. Ree Pryor of Canada, he's gone hard. He has gone hard. 24th in qualifying and setting the pace here. I think the thought behind this is set a high pace, give yourself a chance of going through as a lucky loser. And if you do that, you're guaranteed a top 12 finish, which is very respectable indeed. But remains to be seen whether Pryor will blow up. Let's see what the time is. Round the corner. Oh, that was very, very tight indeed. 1:29. They're 4 seconds up. 4 seconds up at least on heat number 1. And so that burst of speed from Ree Pryor of Canada certainly giving more than 2 people a chance of going through to the semi-finals from this group. Still keeping an eye out for Matthias Holbach, who was one of the favourites to medal here, but had that problem with a broken pole early on. He's up in the 3rd position at the moment, and he's got work to do. He's still 1 down. It's the Italian leading at the moment. Teo Galli coming out of nowhere. Great burst of speed from Galli. Now 2:18 over the little lump which comes just before they turn left into the home straight. There you go, they're 5 seconds up now on that first heat, and ski speed certainly a part of the game for the Norwegians as they come around that final turn. Galli blown away by the transition of speed from the Norwegians. Skari's going to take this one, and I think Holbach is going to claim second, having broken a pole early on. And that is a fantastic recovery. They waited, and credit to Holbach, he didn't panic, held his nerve and came through in the final stages. But that's a quick time. Galli may well get a shot later on. And then Luke Allen of Canada in 4th place, and Ree Pryor, who set the pace through at least half the lap, finished down in 6th place. Surprise, surprise. Good effort though. David Pilch there of Poland, number 17, finishing in 5th. So Philip Skari takes it, 2:31.86, 2:32.01 for Holbach, and 2 Norwegians going through. That was quick. And the qualifiers from Heat 1 will be glad to see it, because anything you use in Heat 1, you tend not to have for the semi-final. And Vika and Keck qualifying at a much more sedate pace, 4.5, 5 seconds slower than that, and you would assume they have more energy in reserve for later on in the day. Waiting for the start of Heat 3 now. Generally very slick. Lillehammer, a couple of hours, 2.5 hours drive north of Norway, north of Oslo. A little bit less from the airport, as that is north of the city. There's your lineup. We have qualifiers number 5 and 6. Erik Johansson qualified in 5, comes from Falun. Saw him in Oberhof in the sprint there, just managed to get through the top 30. 11th in the Junior Worlds last year. And then Bjørtnes of Norway. I think he's only done one World Cup. That was in Trondheim in December, and made the top 30, so he's no slouch, is Bjørtnes. Erik Bergström for Sweden, wearing 15, we've got Sylvan Hauser of Switzerland as well. I don't know what the delay is. Here we go. That's Erik Bergström. Big, strong athlete. Just 20 years old, and put in a very quick start in Falun last weekend at the World Cup there. Paid a price in the latter stages. I think all the Swedes getting a little bit overexcited. Sylvan Hauser of Switzerland. The Swiss Isai Neif has not gone through. They've got Roman Alder in the next heat, and then they've got Noah Neff on the last heat. So they've got plenty of chances to get someone through to the semis. There's number 26, David Pesta of Czechia. And Ika Melnitz of Finland is there as well. So Johansson of Sweden, Birtnes of Norway 6, 15 is Bergström of Sweden, Hauser of Switzerland 16, 25 and 26 are Melnitz of Finland and Pesta of Czechia, and a very, very slow start from the Czech on the right-hand side. Could have been intentional. Maybe he decided just to tuck in, get in the slipstream, do as little work as possible over the first stretch. So this is heat 3 of 5, and then we'll be through to the semi-finals. Races to go, I make that. Once this one is completed. Erik Bergström setting the pace at the moment, and yeah, we saw him in the Swedish National Championships last year. Finished third on that occasion. That was held up in Östersund, which is sort of Sweden's equivalent of Lillehammer, really, where so many of the top athletes go to train. All to do with the facilities, the fact that they look after the tracks. So we saw a broken pole on the last heat, had another one on this occasion, and Erik Johansson now is the man that's got to pull something out of the bag. He's taken a long time to get that pole sorted out, and that could cost him Dilly. He's now 10 meters off the back of this group. Last group were round the corner in 1:29. They're not far off, 1:31, and that could mean that we only get 2 qualifiers from this heat. And I think Erik Johansson, to be honest, who qualified in 5th, I think he's given up on his chances. He has. He's not even making a crack of this one, which is a shame because he looked so good in qualifying. Birtnes of Norway controlling the pace at the front at the moment, and he looks over his shoulder. He sees Erik Bergström of Sweden is there, so no time to relax at this stage. There is a little bit of a gap between 2 and 3. Well, there's still a couple of seconds outside the time set by that last heat, so I think Galli and Allen of Italy and Canada will remain as the lucky losers, and Birtnes and Bergström are the 2 qualifiers. Melnitz of Finland taking a tumble across the line, and yeah, a little bit disappointed with Sweden's Erik Johansson. Was expecting something more of a fighting performance from him. He finished 11th last year, and that means he's going to be outside the top 12 this year. No place in the semis for Sylvan Hauser. And the green highlights indicating only 2 going through at this stage. So Melnitz, Hauser, Pesta, Johansson, their day is done. They can focus now on the 20k and the 10-kilometer time trial later on in the week. That will be Saturday for the under 23 time trial.
Next heat, we will have Spain, Germany, Canada, Latvia, and Poland.
Well, it's not a bad spring day, is it? 3 or 4 degrees, Nice bright sunshine. It was quite windy early, and I guess the wind will start to ease off after 2 o'clock. Certainly a factor here. The sections that are into the wind, you do not want to be the man set or the woman setting the pace. They don't seem to be in a hurry. Normally the next heat are in the gate, ready to go, as the previous heat are coming down the home straight. Really important to keep it ticking over, although the athletes, I don't think they mind. The longer it takes, the longer they get to rest. Flush that lactic out of the system. So at last, Igierski of Poland in bib number 29. Kapikalis of Latvia, first Latvian we've seen qualify so far at these championships. Semyon for Germany in 12. Roman Alder, really impressive qualifying run for him. Second to Vika of Norway, who's already safely through. Kalel Pontabra from Spain, and then Xavier McKeever. McKeever, a big name in Canadian cross-country skiing. Brian McKeever, of course, represented Canada at a number of Olympic Games. Xavier, only 22, based in Canmore, where the Winter Olympics were held back in 1988. Yeah, some fantastic facilities there. Canadians slightly slipping off our radar. Had such a good Olympics in 2010 in Vancouver. They, what was their motto? Own the podium, and they pretty much did from day one through to the end of the games. Only 5 goals for Canada this time around in Italy. So, Semyon of Germany setting the pace, and they're looking to go up and over that rise in around 52 seconds. Don't think they're going to be far outside. Not bad, just about on the money at the moment. I've got them down as the second equal in terms of the group speed on the first part of the course, but this is slow. This is now slow, and Semyon slowing the pace. I think Kapakalis has decided that's enough, and he goes through, and everyone has to raise their game. You really only slow the pace if you're absolutely confident you're going to finish in the top 2. No Norwegians in this group, so all those in group 4 will be happy with that. Whoa! Well, that was, yeah. Kapikalis still pushing hard on the right-hand side of your screen. It's Roman Alder, the fastest in the Swiss red. He's got himself in a decent position. I think he might just be able to squeeze in, but it's very, very tight at the moment. So McKeever is up there as well, sitting in second place at the moment. And the pace now is red hot as we come down towards the finish, up and over the lump in 2:20. And that's far too slow. There will not be more than 2 qualifiers in this heat. We've got another faller going down. I think that's McKeever, who's come a cropper. We'll just wait for confirmation of that. No doubt about the winner, though, and a good run. Roman Alder, the quickest qualifier in that group, goes through. Kapikalis gets the benefit of working hard and keeping the pace high. Kalel Pontabra is 3, Young is 4, Ligurski is out of it. He had problems earlier on, and Xavier McKeever will be so disappointed with that. We saw him in the Olympic Games. He did the sprint, did the team sprint as well with Antoine Sire, finished 6th, 1 place behind the British team. That would have been a good bonus for the Brits. That was a fantastic performance from Jimmy Clunet and of course Andy Musgrave in that team sprint, and McKeever also doing the skiathlon. Had a good race in that, finished 13th, but there he is down in 6th in that first heat, so no further action for him today. Alder and Kamkelis are the 2 qualifiers from heat number 4, 2:39. Not quick, just looking, we've had a 2:34 from heat 3, which was very fast. Philip Scari posted a 2:31 in heat 2, and in between those two, Vika a 2:35 from heat number 1. So those going in heat 5 know exactly what they want to do, or have to do, if they want to go through as a lucky loser. They have to beat 2:32.50. I think Tuz and Neif are capable of it. Not sure that Gluck and Bergqvist are going to, so they might have to mastermind a top 2 finish if they want to take place in the semi-finals. We've got the women's semi-finals coming up after this, and the men will get the men from heat 5 generally go into the second semi. Lucky loser can find themselves, we get 1 lucky loser in each heat or each semi-final. The rest period's so important. Any of you that have been put through your paces and interval sessions know that an extra 30 seconds rest can be very significant indeed. With this, it can be a bonus of a 5-minute rest, which makes all the difference. So Bergqvist there for Finland. Number 8 is Noah Neif, second fastest qualifier in this heat. And on his left is the man who came in just behind Roman Alder in qualifying, Yuri Tuz of Czech Republic. Expecting to see something from him today. Finished 18th in the World Cup in Falun. You would have thought he could make the top 12 of the under-23 World Championships here in Lillehammer. So Tuz of Czechia, we've got Neif of Switzerland, Kluk of USA wearing 13, 18 is Bergqvist of Finland, and then Grant and Sterner. Now, keep an eye on Anton Grant, because he's a name that we've seen on the World Cup. He's over on the far side. He's built a bit like Edvin Anger, very, very tall athlete. Having said that, just checking, because we've got Wilhelm Sterner as well. I'm pretty sure that's Sterner on the right, and Anton Grant over on the far side. 50-50 chance. Yeah, that is Anton Grant in second place at the moment, and Noah Neif setting the pace. Sitting at the back at the moment is Jalmari Bergqvist. Max Gluck of USA also at the back of the pack at the moment, wearing bib number 13. There really aren't that many overtaking opportunities, so I think Neif of Switzerland has done the right thing. He has had to take the headwind. Grant is one of those big men. What is he, 193, so 6'4", so his brother racing yesterday in the juniors. Yeah, very similar build to Edvin Anger. Anger, who hasn't really had the season we were expecting from him. It's been a disappointing year for the Swedes. Now, what are we on? Last group at 1:32, and they're inside that, but they're still 2 seconds outside the best time as they come to the big climb now. Grant has to step up the pace, and Neif is still there. Yuri Tuz starting to raise his game as well, wearing 3 on the left-hand side of your picture. And still Neif leading the way. Grant back in 3rd place. I thought he was playing games in the qualifying, finishing way off the pace, down in 23rd. but he doesn't look himself at the moment. That 10-metre gap is very, very significant indeed. So Naif leads for Switzerland. We've got U23 in second place, still safe as far as the qualifiers go. Over the lump in 2:14. They've closed the gap on the fastest group, but they're still a second or so outside. 2:32.50, I think, is probably out of reach, but it's going to be very close. Naif is on the charge. He's going to take the win here. Tuz is under control, and Anton Gran may well be going out. 2:33, he's gone. One of the favourites is out. Well, that is a big, big surprise. The defending champion just hasn't got it in him. Anton Gran, is he going to go to Lahti on this sort of form? I suspect not. He might go straight back to Mora, where he lives, which of course is the finish for the Vasaloppet that took place this weekend. 90-kilometre race, won in just over 4 hours. Pretty much double poling the whole way, as it's a classic race. Yeah, Gran hangs his head. Third place, 2:33.61. Yeah, Yuri Tuz, very, very crafty race from Tuz. He hid in the pack until they went round that left-hand turn, and then made his move on the steep climb. Noah Neff responded, but those two, with 150 to go, were pretty safe. They'd opened up a gap of some 6 or 7 metres over the Swedes in that particular heat. So that completes the first round for the men. Tuz, Naif guaranteed a slot in the final, and I'll try and give you the lineup for the men's semis. Vika and Kecker in there, Skari and Holbeck, Galley and Allen, the two lucky losers from Heat 2, which is good news for them, but the question is, what have they got left, having put in the fastest heat? And then we've got, there we go, Vika Skari, Bergström, Holbeck of Norway, Elias Kecker, Germany, and Luke Allen, all in heat number 1. Luke Allen, of course, from Canada. They go in semi-final 1. Then Alder, Tuz, Bjertnæs, Naif, Noah Naif, who we've just seen racing. Karpikalis has got a slot in the semis, and Teo Galli. So nice mix of nationalities. The Italians, Latvia, Switzerland, Czechia, Norway, of course, Sweden are there, Germany, Canada. That's not very often we see that sort of range of nationalities. Some 45 nations represented here at these Junior World Championships, 700 athletes in all. It's a big, big event. Yeah, Lillehammer, busy place in the morning. A lot of the teams are staying up in the accommodation at Nordsetter and Sjusjen. Some of the coaches, no doubt, wishing they were down in the town. So same format for the semi-finals. It's the same course, and 6 in each of the semis, top 2 going through, and the 2 lucky losers. Generally the lucky losers come from semi-final number 1. That's because heats 1 and 2 are pretty stacked after the qualifying, as they get to choose which heat they want to go into. That was Fabian Ulder. Eva Thurston, again the bib number correlating to their qualifying position. So Thurston looked encouraging. Sweden, Norway, Switzerland, America and France. Just the Norwegians with 2 representatives in this race. So bib number 1 is Naisland of Sweden, second from the far side. Haugen of Norway wearing 5, Molland of Norway wearing 4. Those two very evenly matched, and they're quite happy to sit back at the moment. No panic from them. And then Switzerland's Fabian Ulder is fighting for second place at the moment, and that's a bad move from Ellen Naisland, one of the favourites for this event and the fastest qualifier. She's gone from 1st to 5th, and now, what will she do? This is an opportunity to get ahead. If she can get some speed on this downhill section, that could be a very, very expensive mistake from Naisland, and I dare say she will say it wasn't her fault. It's Tirloy, Margot Tirloy of France, the slowest qualifier, who leads the way at the moment.
Trying to get back on the outside. Tirloy, number 19, also
So Tirloy still safe. Haugen of Norway, tall figure, in second place. She led her first round, just stayed out of trouble. Don't think she has the choice, and Sweden's Ellen Naisland is coming back into this one, got herself back up into fourth position, but is still going to have to put a big effort in on this climb, and that doesn't help her final. Should she get through to the final, it certainly isn't going to help. So have a look at the clock just as the camera changes. 1:42, 1:42. It's not particularly quick. It's what we saw from the first heat in the first round. Still France leading with Margot Tirloy, but is this where she runs out of puff? Is this where the others come back? Ellen Naisland on the left of your screen is looking for space, but she can't find any. Oldervik Switzerland's in the way. That's given the two Norwegians an opportunity to move to the front, and Haugen it is who's got the top spot at the moment, followed by Moland, her teammate, and those two have the best position as they come into the last 500 meters. So Norway, Switzerland, France, and Sweden are still in trouble. Ellen Naisland, the fastest qualifier, be bitterly disappointed if she goes out. Didn't race in the Junior World Championships last year. She was very young when they were held in 24 in Planica, but she is out of it. It's going to be Norway 1 and 2, Switzerland with Fabian Older making an effort to go around the outside, but I think Haugen and Moland are going to take this one. Whoa, on the photo between Older and Haugen. I think Haugen did not use those long legs of hers to get the advantage across the line. I think that was a little bit careless, a little bit complacent from her, and the jury's immediate decision is to give it to Older. Yeah, there you have it confirmed. You can hear from the stadium MC that Fabian Older gets second, and Helen Haugen has to wait and see whether 2:55.33 is going to be quick enough. I'd be surprised if Tirloy makes that on 2:57, and I'd also be surprised if Haugen doesn't make it on 2:55.33. That is pretty quick. It's quicker than we saw from Ellen Naisland in qualifying 2:56.26. Tracks have got a little bit quicker as they've been pressed down. Slightly warmer conditions today, so every time you ski over them there's a little bit of water release from the snow that then freezes again. So the first semi completed, and there's the lineup for the second. Smith of USA, Perry of France. Can she do a little better? Tirloy gave it a crack, didn't she? You've got to give her credit for that. Crystal of Sweden is quick. Del Rio of Andorra, she's been here before, she's seen it, and she's very, very sharp. Remember the gold medalist from 24 in Planica as a junior. She got the under-21 silver last year in Italy and would love to go back to gold. It's been a long run of success for Gina Del Rio. Sam Smith, bubbly personality, a little bit like Jess Diggins. Ellen Henriksson of Sweden from Skellefteå, and as mentioned earlier, we saw her in Falun last weekend at the World Cup, finished 19th there. Perry of France, and then there is Del Rio Andorra, better known for its alpine skiing, but fantastic cross-country facilities as well. Kataja of Finland, that was on the right-hand side as we look at it. So the second semi, lucky loser times of 2:55 or 2:57.29 is Tirloy's time of France, and they need to get to the halfway stage in around 1:42. That's a good solid start. Two Swedes in this heat. Ellen Henriksson, they'll be trying to make up for the mistakes of Ellen Naisland, who fell. That's Del Rio, who just eases herself into the front. I think the best bet is stay out of trouble, and if you go to the front and then just slow it down and everyone else sort of tucks in behind you, that's fine. Henriksson in 2. We've got Samantha Smith of USA in 3. Smith had to work pretty hard on that first round, so I'm not sure she's going to have 100% to give, although she was very quick in qualifying. I just have a feeling she's emptied the tank a little bit too much to challenge, but we will see. She's still there in third, got a very good chance of going through. And then we've got the second of the Swedes, Evelina Krussel, back in 5th at the moment, and that is Finland's Nora Kataja at the back of the pack, and not really competitive in this second semi-final. So the two Swedes side by side round the corner, 41, 42. Well, it's not bad. It's pretty much on a par with that first semi-final, so maybe there is one slot available. Quite a big gap between 1 and 2, and very good, powerful skiing from Ellen Henriksson, who leads the way at the moment. Battle for second and third between Samantha Smith and Gina Del Rio of Andorra, wearing bib number 8, but it's still Henriksson who's got herself a little bit of clean snow. That's certainly going to help. Sam Smith still fighting, still believing that there's a slot open for her, sitting in 3rd place at the moment. So Henriksson, Del Rio, Smith, and then Krussel of Sweden's coming back into it. She's only a couple of meters off 2nd place at the moment, and if she gets a good final turn, that could be very healthy indeed. 55.33, 2:55.33, the time that needs to be beaten for the lucky losers. Henriksson's not going to have to worry about that. She's going to go through. Gina Del Rio, I think, is going to grab the second automatic qualifying slot as they come across the line. 55.56, and oh, that is close. That is close. 2:57.9. It's not quick enough. Margot Tilloy of France gets the benefit of pushing hard in her first semi-final. Samantha Smith of USA is out, and the two qualifiers, Henriksson and Perry. I must apologise, I thought it was Del Rio there, but Perry came out of nowhere. Brilliant skiing from her. So France do get 2 qualifiers for the final. That's a turn up for the books for them. Well, Del Rio was right up there to start with, and then, as you can see, finishing down in 6th place. So Samantha Smith, 2nd fastest qualifier, crashes out. Gina Del Rio was the 8th fastest and is gone, but Leonie Perry actually, you know, no real surprises. She was solid in qualifying, and yeah, she's a good racer. I would have thought she was better at the distance races. She got a brilliant 4th place in Toblach earlier this season in Italy in the Tour de Ski. It was a one-off, or maybe it wasn't a one-off, but it was a 5k race, and they set off in waves, and Leonie Perry had the benefit of being in Jess Diggins' heat. Diggins doesn't know how to race at 99%, it's always 100%, and that group got a lot of qualifiers, and Perry ended up getting a 4th place in a World Cup, which was her PB by a massive margin. So, women's semis done. Moland of Norway, Henriksen, Sweden, Perry of France, Older of Switzerland, Haugen of Norway, and Tilloy of France go through to the women's final. They're the top 6, and we will know the men's in just about 10 minutes' time. Now you can hear it on the microphones, is starting to pick up. Elias Keck from Germany looked impressive, maybe not quite as impressive as this guy. Oscar Obstadt Viga, the Olympic bronze medalist, looking to add a gold medal to the collection. Although I dare say the Olympic bronze will take priority over a junior world championship medal. There's Luke Allen of Canada, done well to get through to this stage, the only Canadian to get into the last 12. 3 Norwegians, 1 Swede, which is Erik Bergström wearing 15. He's easy enough to pick out. And then we've got Elias Keck of Germany wearing 10. Luke Allen of Canada in bib number 27, so qualified 27th. He knows he's going to finish in the top 12, so already goes down as a good day's work. He might as well throw everything at this, see if he can get through into the last 6. Setting the pace at the moment, Bergström of Sweden, 4 over on the far side. Philip Skari, one of the favourites, and we'll see whether Skari can challenge Vic, who said he was more relieved than anything else when he won his bronze medal. he knew that the selectors had a very, very hard time. 49 seconds over the rise for group number 1. The selectors a hard time choosing who to take to the Olympics for the last sprint spot. Hagen could have gone, Skari could have gone. Vika was the man that got the nod, and so he won the bronze medal for them. This is a high quality field, and the Norwegians allowing Bergström to do the leading at the moment. The pace is healthy, it's not super fast. Yeah, about a second down, second and a half off the pace of the fastest of the heats. I'll give them 130.5 round that corner, and still Erik Bergström seems to be able to find something in the tank, and this is going to be a very useful time from him if he can keep this sort of pace going. He was 9th in the Junior World Championships last year and in 24, so he'll be desperate to get into the top 6 this time round. Vika just making it look so easy, that overtaking maneuver. So Vika ahead of Bergström, Skari in 3 at the moment. Skari with good ski speed, but he's gone on the outside. I don't say he didn't really have a choice there, and here we come. So Vika's got control of this one. He can ease up, and Bergström of Sweden in a bit of a fight with Philip Skari, but Skari's going to get it. And oh, that was a good lunge from Bergström, wasn't it? He might just have closed the gap. No, they don't even need a photo for that one. And then Keck comes across the line in 4. So Allen is out. Holbeck of Norway is out, and yeah, he'll be disappointed with that. Holbeck finished 4th in Falun in the World Cup just a couple of days ago. He doesn't even make the top 6 in the under-23 Junior World Championships. That's how it can change in the world of sprinting. Skis, tactics, energy, pacing all play a huge part. You win some, you lose some. Although Klæbo loses very, very few. He did lose in Davos, incidentally. And Klæbo not far off securing his over 500 points clear in the World Cup standings. As we have a look at the finishing positions from that first semi-final, Vika and Skari are through. Bergström has to wait and see. 2:33.78, I think. Oh, I think that will be quick enough. They haven't put Keck on the lucky loser line at the moment with a 2:35.14. There's your lineup, and again they're just waiting for the officials' orders to take their place in the gate. Older, Tuz, Bjertnæs of Norway, Latvia, Italy, Switzerland, Norway, Czechia. 2 Swiss in this second heat. They didn't have any athletes in the first one. Roman Alder, Noenef, Isainef not making it through to this stage. He went pretty early on, I think. He went in heat number 1 and didn't get through to the semi-final. So let's have a look at the lineup. Teo Galli, who was very good in the first round, used some good tactics to work his way through, wheedle his way through the group and get himself into a qualifying slot. Noenef, and then Jiri Tuts is quick, keep an eye out for him. Roman Older of Switzerland, very, very quick in qualifying, comes from Pontresina, just down the road from Samaritz. Bjertnæs of Norway, qualified in 6, and I think he's only done one World Cup, that was in Trondheim earlier this year, or earlier this season, December of 25, and he made, didn't get through the first round, but he finished in 18th. So where's your money for this? We've got Older of Switzerland in 2, third fastest qualifier Tuts in bib number 3, of course, for Czechia. Bjertnæs of Norway is wearing 6, Neif of Switzerland 8, Kapikelis of Latvia, who took his first round race by the scruff of the neck and came through. He was a bit fortunate in that one of his opponents went down. Xavier Makiva crashed out and was looking as though he was going to go through. And then Teo Galli of Italy, wearing number 14 and over on the far side in the blue suit. So Norway's Bjertnæs very, very calm at the moment, allowing the 2 Swedes to do the work up front. Older and Neif side by side over the top of the hill in 53. They are 4 seconds slower. That bodes well for Elias Keck of Germany, who's sitting there with a 2:35.14. I think he could find himself in the final. So often you get 4 qualifiers from the first semi. Now someone's going to have to turn it up, and it looks as though it's going to be Bjertnæs of Norway. He's gone round, he's gone the long way round. Or is that Jiri Tuts now? Yeah, Bjertnæs made a bid for it. Tuts saw him coming, upped his own pace, and has moved into top spot. Now the last group went round this corner in 1:30. Yeah, 5 seconds outside. So only 2 qualifiers from this heat. That's absolutely certain now as they come to the big climb. Tuz on the left of your screen, difficult to see the numbers. If it is bib number 3, then I've got that one right. And just looking, the Norwegian struggling a little bit. That's in the middle of the group, but he's down in 4th place. This is going to be between Czechia, and Tuss gets obstructed. Good move coming in from Teo Galli there to get himself back up into 2nd place, having been sitting at the back in 5th. He timed his charge perfectly. So all to play for in this 2nd semi-final. There are only 2 slots available. They're so far outside the first heat. We will not get a lucky loser. 4 in the money here. Who's got the best skills coming into the home straight? Switzerland with 2 athletes there. It's the Italian Teo Galli who ups his tempo first, but it looks as though it's going to be Roman Older who claims the top spot. He's got to watch out for the Norwegian Bjertnæs on the inside, and a qualifying slot for Galli. Older is there as well. Neff just misses out. And Tuts, who qualified in fourth place, or in third place, is out as well. What a race. What a race. But I can't believe that they can have anything left for the final. And the men's final, what are we now? 10 to the hour. I think they're going to have 15 minutes max before the men's final. And the last group finishing at 1:45. In fact, a little bit before that, they finished at about 12:43. So the first heat, or the first semi, have already had an extra 7 minutes rest. And I think that's going to prove to be very, very crucial. Teo Galli, give him credit. That was a brilliant race from him, and he showed that if he can put himself in a good position coming into the home straight, he's as quick as anyone over that last 150 meters. So Galli with a time of 2:39.84 goes through alongside Roman Older. Noah Neff of Switzerland just squeezed out. Yuri Tuts got obstructed at the top of the big climb, and yeah, it's tight racing. It's part of cross-country sprinting. Doesn't happen quite so much in the classic races, but in the skate, where you generally need 2.5 meters minimum of space, there's always the chance that skis and poles are going to clash. So I've still got Bergstrom and Keck as the lucky losers. Now, confirmation. So Vika and Skari of Norway are through to the final. Teo Galli, who won that second semi, is obviously through. Roman Alder is there as well. Eric Bergstrom and Elias Keck go through as the lucky losers. So Norway, Sweden, Germany, Switzerland and Italy represented. Austria and Sweden, the two gold medalists yesterday in the junior event, and we could well get a third nation up on the top of the podium. Who's it likely to be? Well, Norway, I think you'd put your money on Vika to take the gold, and yeah, anyone's shout as to who is going to get the silver. It's going to be close. That will be a very good race indeed, as will be the women's final, which is the next race up. Again, a couple of Norwegians in that. We've got Moland and Haugen. Haugen just coming through as a lucky loser, but I don't think we'll see the same tactics from her. Moland, Ellen Henriksen, who got obstructed but somehow managed to find a way through. And then we've got Fabian Older of Switzerland. Margot Tilloy, well, she worked incredibly hard. I would put my money, I hope it doesn't happen, but I'd put my money on her finishing fourth to sixth, and just outside the podium slots. But the French got two chances. Léonie Perry, certainly the better of the two in this women's final.
First ladies to start in 1 minute 20 seconds.
Racers are already out there, so I guess they would rather get on with it and get the race completed. Here we go. Here we go. So let's have a look at the lineup. Margot Tilloy, as you can see, 19th in qualifying. Alongside her is Ellen Henriksen of Sweden, just 22, finished 19th in the World Cup last weekend, which was very impressive. Moland of Norway qualified in 4, finished 9th in Planica in the Junior World Championships 2 years ago. Fabian Older of Switzerland. Impressive run from her, finished second in semi-final number 1. So she's had a decent rest, got herself a good race. Now, Leonie Perry came through semi-final number 2. All a question of how well she has recovered after that effort. And there is Haugen, who got a slot virtue of a lucky loser. But I would not rule her out of the medals. She's on the right-hand side. She's the tallest by about 4 inches in the field. Here we go. Who's going to be bold enough to lead? Will it be a tactical race? Moland of Norway is in 4, 3 from the far side. Ellen Henriksson is the only one of the Swedes leading effectively at the moment. Fast start from Henriksson. Leonie Perry of France is wearing 3. And then we've got Older of Switzerland wearing 24 at the back at the moment. And then Haugen, the tall figure on the near side, with Margot Tilloy of France in bib number 19. Not surprised to see Moland dictating the pace. Haugen looks tired at the back. Yeah, slightly surprised by that. She raced in the first of the semis, looking for a bit of space on the inside, and the time on the clock at just over the minute, so it's not quick. It's considerably slower than we saw earlier on. 1:42 round that left-hand bend is the fastest we've seen so far. That will give us a really good indication. Moland it is, doing the work up front at the moment, and Ellen Henriksson sitting in a very, very strong position at the moment. Haugen's now moved up into 3, and we've got Margot Tilloy of France in 4 at the moment. I'm so surprised that Gina Del Rio of Andorra didn't make it through, but she'll have to put her efforts into the races still to come, a 20k, a 10k, and the relays, of course, but Andorra don't have the numbers. 1:47, oh my goodness, it's a pedestrian pace, and that means that fireworks are going to be lit fairly soon, and this is the big climb where the race can be decided. Henriksson of Sweden is still looking very, very good. Moland of Norway, who qualified in 4th, in 2nd place at the moment. Her teammate Haugen trailing by some 4 or 5 meters. There's a lot of support for Mina Moland of Norway, number 4, but it's Sweden's Henriksson who's got the advantage over the top of the big climb, but still 400 meters to go. This is where recovery is so important. A couple of rollers, you can gain an advantage by working the bumps as we see in the ski cross events, and then a little rise before they turn sharp left into the home straight. Sweden, Norway, Norway. Sweden, of course, with a gold medal in the juniors with Eddie Pedersen yesterday. Are they going to take the women's under 23? At the moment it is Henriksson who leads. Haugen's trying to wind it up for the last 50. 25 meters to go. It's still Sweden with the lead, and their 2nd gold of the junior championships. Henriksson takes it, Moland silver, Haugen bronze, and Tilloy, credit to her, great effort, having put in such a fabulous semi-final, takes 4th place. Leonie Perry 5, not recovered from her first round. And give Henriksson credit, because she came out of semi-final number 2, and it's so seldom that someone from semi-2 goes on to win the event, so credit to her, and that extra few minutes of rest will have made a big difference there. But great news for Sweden. They've got 2 gold medals from 3 races, and making up already for their disappointment at the Olympic Games, particularly in the men's events. Their women were brilliant. Carlsen and Anderson, of course, absolutely superb. And don't forget Svan and Sundling, who got gold and silver in the sprint. And Dahlqvist will be saying, what about me? I got the bronze medalist. Clean sweep, of course, for Sweden in that Olympic sprint event. Well, that was a cracking race. The Sergeant Major is back. We'll get them all in order. They've obviously got to go through various tests, get some dry clothes on, and get themselves ready for the presentation ceremony. That's Helen Haugen. Yeah, I think she would have been thinking she could have it. She was the Norwegian junior national champion in the sprint event. She finished 6th overall, so you know, that includes some big Norwegian names. So she's certainly someone to watch out for the future. I was impressed by Moland as well, and there we go. Photo finish to start with, and no doubt they'll be asked to jump as high as they can for the photo. Photographer's a bit more sympathy this time around. So good photo shoot, and they'll be back in 15 minutes or so for the medal presentation. We've got the men's race to come. Now remember, that second semi-final finished exactly 11 minutes ago, and the men's final due to start in the next 4 minutes. There's one thing Sweden like more than winning, it's beating Norway in second and third. They've certainly achieved that today. Eddie Pedersen beating Leopold Strand yesterday. And then Elin.
Okay, Elin, third place last year, and now you take the gold.
Down into 2 and 3.
It's lovely. I feel so happy, and yeah, I don't know, it's just great.
You were 19 in Falun last weekend. I mean, you're in good shape. Did you feel it coming today?
No, I don't feel if I'm in good shape or not. It just have to be seen out on the course.
What was your tactic during the final?
I don't know, I just went blind and went after her, and then I did my best in the last uphill, and it was a real tight fight there over the last curve, so yeah, it was great to be first over.
Will we see you in the distance formats?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Congrats.
I'm not sure that Ellen Henriksen has got her breath back after that effort, but I think she was honest, had absolutely no plan.
Mina, you take the silver today. How does that feel?
Oh, very good. My whole team was here cheering on me, and yeah, they give me the extra push all the way today actually, so I'm so happy.
You're training in Lillehammer, right? So you felt home today?
Yeah, I've trained here the last 6 years, so I've been here in this track very many times, and there's only 2 days ago I got the message that I was racing today, so yeah, it's extra good to do a good race.
Are you gonna race other formats?
No, actually I'm not.
Where can we see you again next then? World Cup maybe?
I hope so, maybe in Drammen, I hope so, yeah. I don't know yet.
Okay, thank you very much, congrats.
That of course was Mina Moland, who took the silver medal only a couple of days notice. Well, that's a turnaround, isn't it? She raced great. What a contrast between her and Drivenes yesterday, who was absolutely miserable about having taken the silver medal.
Bronze medal today. Wow, what a race. How is it going?
Here's Haugen.
It was very hard, but the start was a little tricky, but I managed to get a good position before the downhill, so yeah, it was good.
Will we see you maybe in Drammen?
If it was up to me, of course, but I really hope so.
Are you going to compete other distance formats maybe now?
No, not more here.
What are your goals next now for the season?
To compete in Drammen, I think.
Okay, thank you very much.
So that was Haugen. Drammen, of course, is traditionally, it is just a sprint event. It's a city sprint. It's a fantastic occasion, generally in classic, and it's a very, very tough finish. I think some of those who haven't been before might get a bit of a shock, but it's a great occasion, brilliantly supported, and that is after the World Cup in Lahti. So they're racing in Lahti this weekend, 7th, 8th, and then midweek they'll be in Drammen. Then they go to Oslo for the Oslo 50, and then the World Cup Tour is heading over to the United States, Park City hosting the last rounds of the World Cup, where highly likely that Jess Diggins will be awarded her 4th Crystal Globe. And it really does put her up amongst the big-time athletes. Bjørgen, Johaug, Diggins, Velber. I'd probably put her in 4 or 5 in terms of the all-time greats after what she's achieved. But no Olympic gold, and that's a little bit of a gap on her record book. But nice to hear from the top 3 there. Henriksen delighted. We'll see her again in the distance races, a 20 and a 10, as I mentioned. Moland and Haugen specialising in the sprint events, and they will now probably practice their classic sprints and hope they get the call up for the World Cup in Drammen. Here we go then. Just been given their starters orders for the men's final. Norway may not have won a gold yet, but they've still picked up 5 medals from 3 races. I suspect this might be their first gold, but they will not top the medal table, because Sweden now have 2, Philip Skari, certainly a man who'll be, he'd be expecting to get on the podium, qualified in 4th. We've already lost Yuri Tuns, who's gone out. Roman Alder, 2nd fastest qualifier today, the man from Pontresina, only 21, so he's got another year of under 23s should he wish to do it. And then Oscar Obstan Viga, who has not been troubled so far. He won the qualifying, he won his first heat, he won his semi, and I think he could well cruise to victory here, but we'll see how he goes. Things can go horribly wrong in the sprints. Elias Keck there for Germany, number 10. 15 is Erik Bergström of Sweden. Now, I expect him to play the same sort of role as we saw in Falun last weekend. Very, very quick start, just see what happens. Not always the best way to do it. So Bergström on the near side, only 1 Swede in this men's final. There are 2 Norwegians. Vika is wearing 1, and Vika it is who goes out fastest. Philip Skari over on the far side, and then Switzerland's Roman Alder. I think his race plan is to stick in behind Vika and see if the big Norwegian can drag him to a medal here. Italy's Teo Galli. So that was 16, 17 minutes between the 2nd semi and the start of the final. Slight delay, should have been about 15, but 16, 17, so that might help the recovery of those who came through from the 2nd semi. Galli and Alder wearing 14, Alder wearing 2. He's over on the far side, down in 4th or 5th place. Philip Skari wearing 4 on the left of your screen, keeping a careful eye on his teammate Vika, but they're allowing Bergström to do the leading. I think that was inevitable that was the way it was going to turn out, but the key part of this course does seem to be the high point as they come over the top of that big climb. Anyone who's leading there generally comes through to win. Now the speed is picking up, and I think that's Vika who's gone to the front, and Bergström's been pushed down into 3. He's in danger of being pushed into 4 as well. The Italian Teo Galli, who fought so gallantly to get into the finals, I don't think he's got any juice left in the tank, and the speed goes ballistic as they come to the high point, and it's still Vika who leads the way. The Olympic bronze medalist has earned himself a gap of 3 or 4 meters. Norway in 1 and 2, Skari in 2 at the moment, and a great run. I haven't mentioned Elias Keck. He's just slowly but surely worked his way to the front, and Vika goes down. We saw fallers yesterday, we've seen them again today. A loss of concentration. celebration, and the red-hot favourite is out, and that's going to allow Philip Skari to come through and take the gold medal. It's almost comical, not for Vika, of course, but a man of his abilities really should not be making those mistakes. What drama at the final stages. Skari takes gold, Kecker, Germany, comes in with a silver, and it looks as though Oscar Vika has hurt himself. It was absolutely flat out. Speeds of around 45 kilometers an hour, and if he got a ski in the hip, that would be very, very painful indeed. I don't know if Erik Bergstrom got tied up with that fall as well, but he's not looking too happy with things. So that means the medals are shared. Norway take the gold, Germany take the silver, Switzerland with Roman Alder get the bronze medal, and Alder's delighted. You've always got to believe that something can happen in your favour, and it has done today. So Switzerland on the podium for the first time. They missed out narrowly yesterday. Nolan Gersh finishing in 4th place in the junior event. The Ski-Doo is not a good sound. I think they're going to go and pick up the pieces as far as Oscar Opsat Vika is concerned. That will not be happy viewing for the Norwegian coaches. Olympic star or not, the course shows no respect whatsoever. I'm hoping he's just winded. At the worst, it could be some broken ribs, but we haven't had any replays so far this week, and we've seen some of the best falls of the season, so that's a little bit disappointing. So Vika's misfortune is to Philip Skari's benefit. Well, the Nittedal club will have enjoyed that. They get a under-23 gold medalists in their ranks. Skari's only done 5 World Cups. He got disqualified last weekend in Falun for obstruction in the first round. Well, it has to be said that Vika was the class act in that field. I wonder whether he was just looking through his legs to see if he'd broken clear, and the skis crossed. I'm trying to think. We had 3 fallers yesterday. We've had quite a few stumbles today. We've had broken poles. Let's see what the winner has to say about it.
Did a great race, but I'm not able to be happy today because I was not the best, and yeah, I feel really kind of sad for Oscar because he's such a great guy, and he was the best today. So yeah, I mean, it is a goal, but yeah, sorry.
So yeah, we see him now coming. He seems injured. Maybe you can say a word for him.
Yeah, he's shown everyone this year, and last year he was really good. Got a podium in the World Cup, and today he's an Olympic medalist. So yeah, he's such a good skier, and yeah, he deserved better today because he was the best.
Okay, what about you? What's the goal for the rest of the championships?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to go for the goal today, and I did very good, so I'm happy with my performance today. And I'm racing on Saturday the next, so I'm looking forward to that, and hope it will be weather like this the rest of the week.
Thank you, Philip. Congrats.
So he'll be racing in the 10-kilometre time trial on Saturday. That was a nice, honest interview, wasn't it? And you know, you could go over the top celebrating a gold medal, but his number one concern
you take the silver medal
is
today.
his teammate.
How is it going?
Thanks for that. I didn't expect that, actually. I didn't feel that good in the beginning, but the shape was coming after the final, so that was good for me. Thanks for that.
What was the tactic today? What was important to do during this race?
To stay in the front from the beginning. It didn't work not every final, but in the last one it was pretty good. So yeah, I'm happy for that.
With also Jan Stolben in the World Cup, we see you a lot now on the World Cup. You have such a strong German team. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think the season was this year a little bit tough for the German team, but we have a good sprinter, Jan. He's pretty good right now. Yeah, I think that's good. It's always nice to be in the front for the country.
Thanks a lot, congrats.
So that was Elias Keck of Germany. He finished, he raced in Finland last weekend, finished 31st, so didn't qualify for the knockout phases, but then was promoted to 30th after the Norwegian was disqualified. So he got himself in the points without even doing the knockout phases. So good effort from him. Here's Roman Alder, who's taken the bronze medal for Switzerland.
Congrats, Roman, bronze medal. How does that feel?
Yeah, really, really good. It was a crazy sprint, and I guess, yeah, it feels really good to have a medal to my name, yeah.
We see you a lot on the World Cup now. Did you use this World Cup experience today?
Yeah, I guess I was quite confident that I can do good prologues, but in the World Cup I've never made it past the quarterfinals. And today I said to myself, semi-finals for sure, and after the prologue I thought finals possible. And as we have seen in finals, everything's possible.
We see that it's some maybe of your family here. Do you have a word to say to them?
Yeah, thank you so much. It's great. I mean, the medal, and they're all here to watch it. Also, my sister in the other final. Just a really good day, and it really makes me happy.
Congrats. Thank you.
Yeah, delighted. Good effort from Roman Alder, and you know, people fall. You've got to be in the right position to take their place should they go down. And it was no one's fault because Vika was out on his own, leading the way. He had a 5-meter lead over Philip Skari when he fell. All you had to do was avoid him. I'm still not quite sure what happened to Eric Bergstrom. I don't know whether he got tied up with Vika as well, but he was way off the pace, having set the pace for the first half of the race. But good climax, 2 good finals, and again, great success. The Norwegians will be happy to get their first gold, but they'll be very, very concerned about the condition of Oscar Opstad Vika, who crashed out in that final. Just a reminder of the results of the women's race. Ellen Henriksson of Sweden getting the gold, 2:58.01 her winning time. Mina Moland and Helena Haugen, both of Norway, in the silver and the bronze medal positions. The French, Tilloy and Perry, finishing 4 and 5. That will be painful when they look at that result sheet later, but to be honest, they were outclassed by the Scandinavians on that occasion. And then Fabian Alder getting the 6th place, so 2 Alders in the finals today, only one of them getting a taste of the medals. Roman Alder with that bronze medal in the men's.